What is going on, guys? It is Rexsi here, and for some reason this man with the weirdest bands I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy crap. And he didn't ban Kali or anything? What? Okay. As you can see by the title, we have sort of a different game killer. Different sort of video. It's gonna be a little more laid back. I thought, you know what, a lot of people in streams and stuff have been asking questions, and I don't really have the time to answer them to a certain extent, and I thought, you know what, let me do something fun. I'll do this one-off video where I just go over like a story time sort of video in a duel. So it's gonna be a little more casual, but at the same time it's going to be we'll just go blink for lawless. Actually, go blink second. Fucking. We'll go this. Basically, I thought I'd go over like just a little story about me. I don't know, like some laid-back commentary. I just want to chillax after trying to record all these Guzmo games, man. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. This is a live commentary, by the way. So, the story today, we're going to be talking about my experiences with lucid dreaming, or rather, the story of how I ended up getting insomnia. Diagnosed with insomnia after a little while, after a long while, actually. So, started off, topic of the hour. You can probably guess what it is. Ooh, look at these auto jukes. Okay. Okay, here's some poke for it. Take it with you. Give me a crit. Okay. Oh, those crits, boy. RNGesus. So to start this topic off, we're going to talk about lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming, as most people know, is the if he would have turned for a split second, I might have been able to get a crit 2 off there. I might have killed him. He's playing very aggressive for the amount of health he has. Okay. Okay, so I can't do this. Anyways, lucid dreaming is basically what happens when you are conscious during a dream, or not conscious, you realize it's a dream, and you're like, hey, this is a dream, and then you are in control. I mean, technically, it's even if you aren't in control, it's still technically lucid dream because you know it's dreaming. But that happens to a lot of people. They're like, oh wow, like, hey, this is a dream. Wait a minute, and then I wake up, and they wake up and they're like, wow, I just realized I was dreaming stuff, right? But, oh, damn it. Well, that was weird. But that's not really lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is more or less when you're kind of in control of everything that's happening, or aware that it's a dream as it's going on, is like the simpler terms of it. Now, when I was in like grade 10, I got very into lucid dreaming, very hard into lucid dreaming. I was very committed. It's a difficult thing to do. It takes a lot of time to practice before you're able to do it properly and consistently. And I practiced, and after like 7 or 8 months, I was finally able to do it for the first time. Awesome. Anyways, after I finally learned how to do it, I found quicker methods to do it, or I wouldn't say quicker, but like there's different ways to do it. Like the simplest way would be, you know, you have to have a dream journal, you write down your dreams, obviously, because you don't really remember dreams, even lucid dreams. So you've got to be very persistent on that. I don't do that anymore because I just lucid dream all the time. I don't have to try. I think it just happens because naturally. Since I just learned how to do it, I understand how it happens. Anyways, I was really tired with it, learned how to do it, and I heard about these other methods. And you've probably heard of this before, but there's this thing called sleep paralysis, where you've probably heard these stories of people that are just like, it ruins their lives and they can't sleep at night, they have sleep paralysis, and like, ooh, they're so affected by it, like it basically, you wake up in the middle of the night, you can't leave your body, and you start hallucinating into these demons and stuff, and these people screaming, and these shadowy figures, and things attacking you, slitting your throat and shit, right? Okay. And his beat's cool. And pretty much, that's what sleep paralysis is every single night. It's not like that, like normally you're unconscious while it happens, but it happens every single night while you're asleep. Like your body naturally just paralyzes itself, but you don't know. So it's just, the reason why it does that is because, you know, so you don't reenact your dreams, like you don't start like flailing all around and Like say you move your arm in your dream, you don't move it in real life, you don't start fucking smacking shit. That's why your body does that. But, fun fact, you can actually force yourself into this state where you start to hallucinate and stuff. And you can get into a lucid dream by doing that, and I'll explain that here in a second. It's one of the methods. And you instantly go into like a layer 3 or something lucid dream. There's different layers and stuff of control that you have in a dream. Like say like layer 2 for example, or layer 3. You can control the environment and understand what's going on, but to a certain extent. But a layer 4 lucid dream, I think you can, that's when you can just, anything you can literally imagine you can do. Like I'm talking, like I've made myself the size of Godzilla, I've destroyed New York, I've gone to the moon, I fly around. That's a difficult thing to do though for some people. I learned how to do it a while ago. Like, you can fly around. I've made myself go super. Anything you could literally imagine, you can do. You're basically limited in your imagination, and it feels just like real life. It feels realer than real life, if anything. Like while it's happening, it feels like real, like because your senses are like heightened by like 20,000% because like it's a dream, right? Where you can like your senses, like you imagine yourself like everything you smell is just like everything you touch. It feels so much like more realistic and stuff. I don't know, because it's your own imagination. I don't know. But yeah, basically you're limited by your imagination in that sense. And yeah, where was I going on with that? I was just explaining what you can do in a lucid dream. Pretty much you can like there's different ways to do it to get into that sort of state. And one of the methods is forcing yourself into sleep paralysis. Let's go on about that. So when I was learning how to do it, I heard about that method. I think it's called the wild method, wake-induced lucid dreaming or something. I don't exactly remember it. It's been a very long time since I've really talked or done anything about this, since, you know, it was like 3 or 4 years ago or something that I first started to do this. But basically, you lay down in like the military position, you know, that the way the people in the military sleep with their back flat and their arms straight down. And what you basically do is you just keep yourself completely still. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's something. Alright. You lay down in a military position, and you trick your body, or your mind, rather. You trick your mind into thinking that your body's asleep. Like, you're like hanging on the edge of hypnagogia, or whatever, however you pronounce that, where your mind starts to wander, and you start, you know, like right before you fall asleep, you'll lose track of your thoughts. You'll eventually, you know, fall asleep before you hit, like, you know, rapid eye movement, which is way later. But there's like different phases in it. But basically, pretty much, you just, you know, you get to that point where you're about to fall asleep, and you sit there, right? And you do not move. You keep your body like unrealistically still. Even like your body's gonna like send triggers to your body, like, or your mind's gonna send triggers to your body, like you'll feel an itch, or you'll feel the urge to fucking smell something and scratch your nuts. I don't know. There's different sort of ways that your body can try and test to see if your mind can test to see if your body's asleep. And if you trick it, 1 second, let me kill this motherfucker. Okay, man. There's different ways you can, like, your body can, you know, send signals and stuff, but you have to ignore them, which can be very difficult. It took me a lot of practice before I was able to do it. Like, you can't, like, even swallowing. If you swallow without doing it naturally, or breathe unnaturally, then it can just screw everything up and alert your mind that your body's awake. But once you get past that, and you convince your body that you're asleep, or your mind that you're asleep, your body will paralyze itself and you can't feel anything, and you start to hallucinate. But the thing about this method is you are aware that you're going into it, and if you know what to expect, then you're not going to get nearly as scared as you hear those stories, which, you know, is basically what everyone's always scared about. They're just like, they hear all these stories about, holy shit, minions were chunking me there, I didn't even notice. You hear all these stories about all these people, like, they get scarred for life, and it's horrible for them to sleep. because of this effect. But if you force yourself into it, then you know what to expect. Basically, you know that it's happening because you're conscious while you go into that. So even like my first experience, for example, I hallucinated Iron Man sitting beside me, reading me a comic, and all of a sudden he got on top of my chest and was like, everything's okay. Well, first of all, I saw the girl from The Ring at the bottom of my bed, and that was when I was like, okay, time to put on the cheat code, and I just closed my eyes because you're allowed to do that. For some reason, people don't understand that. You can still hear like audio hallucination or like, you know, audio hallucinations and stuff, but you can actually close your fucking eyes so that you don't experience those kind of, you know, hallucinations and stuff. Oh, I fucked up. Okay. You can just do that, right? And that's what I did when I did it, just so I like wouldn't, you know, experience the visuals and like the shadow people and whatever the hell else you see. Anyways, let me go on about this. Iron Man, like I saw him before, and then I closed my eyes, and he was like reading me this story. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I was just going with it. All of a sudden, he got on my chest, and he's like, "Everything's gonna be okay," and he starts to choke me, and that's when I was like, okay, that's enough. And what you can do once you get to that point, like in sleep when you force yourself into that state, you can, at any point, when you're deep enough into it, the longer you wait in it, the more layers you hit into lucid dream, because you instantly hit rapid eye movement sleep. That's why it's better to do, like, when you take a nap or, like, when you wake up in the middle of the night. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting off topic. Once you're at that, like, state, at any moment, you close your eyes, and then when you reopen your eyes, when you choose to, you'll know when it's happening. You will open your eyes and you'll be in a dream, and you'll be completely conscious when you enter the dream. And I remember the first time it ever happened to me. It was the most phenomenal thing I've ever experienced. It was absurd. It was so cool. Oh my god, it was amazing. I open my eyes and I'm just on a beach in like Hawaii or something, and I just look to my right. I just look over to my right side and I saw like the ocean. I'm just like, I'm gonna see something. And I just pretty much raised my hand and I looked over at the ocean. and I just lifted it up and just watched a tsunami raise up in the sea, pretty much. Fuck off, please. I'm trying to tell a story. I raised the tsunami and let it hit the beach. Okay, motherfucker, that's it. You know what? Yeah? You want to stop? Here, how about you stop my back again, huh? Here, stop it again. No. Okay. Anyways. Yeah. I saw the beach. I'm not going to go on to what I did. I did pretty generic stuff. I teleported. I tried flying. I couldn't do it back then because it's actually a very difficult thing to do. I was doing all kinds of stuff, doing what I wanted to do. I was looking at mirrors. I was doing all this crazy stuff that you could do in dreams, like all the generic things you can think of. Anyways, that's how I got into lucid dreaming, and, you know, I used to be very tryhard with it. I'd write down every single dream in the book, obviously, because that's, you know, so you actually remember them. And it went on for some time, and I didn't really have to do that anymore, like that, you know, that sleep paralysis method, because I could do it naturally, like through like reality checks, where basically, you know, you just count your fingers, you turn the light on or off. It doesn't work. Look in a mirror, look at the time. Look at it again and it changes in a dream, and then you're like, wait a minute, this is a dream, etc., etc. And then I started using that method. And then every once in a while, when I felt like it, I'd try and do that sleep paralysis method. Now, this is where, like, things kind of took a turn. I did that, I was lucid dreaming very consistently for, like, probably like a year and a half before I like started getting a little bored with it, because I've done everything I could imagine, and I just, you know, I was just like, whatever, let's do. I don't feel like writing them down anymore. It's just like a hassle, and I'm trying to wake up in the morning, I'm all groggy, just trying to get stuff done. So, like, you know, it's not worth my time. And so, I messed that up. Ever since then, I've always just lucid dreamed naturally. It just happens to me literally all the time, whenever. Especially when I have naps. When I have naps, I have lucid dream about 95% of the time. Because pretty much your mind, when you go to take a nap, is already in REM sleep, and it usually takes like 4 or some hours before you hit that point, and that's when you start the dream. And when you take a nap, you can, you know, you pretty much instantly enter that. Anyways, the trouble started, I think, about a year and a half-ish ago. I don't know the exact dates of this before, like, I really had trouble sleeping. Since I had stopped, like, something that can happen that I wasn't aware of is your body can kind of naturally go into sleep paralysis during a dream, like right before or during a dream. I'm not sure how exactly it works. Maybe it's like right before where I don't notice it, but I'll be in like a... I stopped lucid dreaming, or I stopped trying to lucid dream. It would naturally happen, but what also happened is I would naturally just enter, I would just kind of... Please don't. No! I'm not done my story. Shit. Damn it. I don't even know. Maybe I'll just go over my history or something, or ranked or whatever. I would naturally, you know, enter lucid dreams and stuff, but I would also naturally enter sleep paralysis. And the problem with it is when you enter it unnaturally and you're not used to it, like, yeah, I haven't done it in a while, I would continuously experience sleep paralysis again and again and again and again. And god damn it, I really... This mode sucks. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Okay, I'm just gonna finish this story, because whatever, I was distracted anyway. Yeah, look at all those... This has been my life, dude. Look at... Because I'm old. Pretty much, your body kind of naturally enters sleep paralysis, well, it started to happen during dreams, and I wasn't prepared for it. Like, I would notice it was a dream sometimes, but other times, like, it would start to happen during a dream, which, like, it made no sense to me. When I'm laying on my bed, like, I would instantly realize, oh, it's sleep paralysis, and I know how to get out of it, right? There's little things you can do, like wiggle your pinky, your little toe, and you can force yourself out of it. But when it happens, when I'm not expecting it, like during a dream that is an actual dream, like I'm not conscious of it, it's just a normal dream, it'll start to happen. Like, for example, it's happened, like, having a dream, and then there's Voldemort beside me, and all of a sudden, like, I'll be laying there, or I'll be, like, standing or something, or, like, just sitting, and I'm just like, wow, I can hardly open my eyes right now, like, I can't move, what is happening, like, I just can't move my body, and, you know, Voldemort will bite me in the neck and stuff, and I'll just be like, what the fuck is happening? I'll start to freak out, and, like, wake up in a sweat and stuff, because I'm just not aware of what's happening, like, because I can't, for some reason, I don't click, probably because it's, like, during a dream. But a year and a half ago, this started to happen very, 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 very regularly, like every single day. Every single time I try and go to bed. If I fell asleep the wrong way, like, or if I fell asleep when I was too tired, which was also, like, you know, ironic. If I fell asleep too fast, I'd enter REM sleep very quickly, and then it would happen, and, like, the worst case, like, I went to the doctor once it got to the point where the one time I was sitting in the back of a van, and I was with my family, and everyone was in front, and there was a guy in the back, there was this murderer or something, and he pulled my hair back, and I just couldn't move. This is probably the scariest one I've been through. And it felt like real life. He took me by the hair, pulled my head back, like, above the headrest, and he kind of slit my throat, and everyone, like, in front of the van was, like, screaming and stuff. I just started to freak the hell out, and I woke up, and my heart was just like boom, 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 and I was like, I need to go to the doctor or something, and that's when I was, you know, like, diagnosed with it. It's been a little better ever since, like, I figured out some strats to get around it and get past it. It's a lot better now. Like, there's ways where I can just, I pay attention to the way I sleep, because if I fall asleep in a certain, like, the way I lay down, like, it can happen, and I'm also a little more aware now when it's happening. I don't know, I just felt like going over this story. Just a little random thing. I hope you guys enjoyed. I randomly got the idea because I had a lucid dream yesterday where I was like, I entered, like, a dream, like, instantly, like, 5 minutes after, like, instantly after I fell asleep, and I was like, to the point where I'm just like, I literally just fell asleep, like, I know this is a dream, like, and I was like, okay, well, time to make myself fly, but I wasn't, like, completely certain that it was a dream at that point, so I started to fly up in the air, and I couldn't go back down, and I was like, oh my god, my heart started, like pounding, like, I'm starting to freak out, like, I'm starting to get, like, just absolutely horrified, because I just can't fall down, I'm just going up in the air, I don't know what to do. I woke up, my heart's just, like, pounding, I was like, you know what, I might as well, I think this would be a pretty cool video. But yeah, if you have any sort of questions, or any other video, when you see other videos like this, I mean, just hit me up in the comments, let me know what you thought. So a little bit of a rant video, I don't know, I just felt like going on about a story. If you enjoyed watching, please leave me a like, let me know what you thought. I think I could have played better, you know, all that. Let me in the comments. Hope you all have a good day. We'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.